Hello everyone, my name is the Emerald, and today we're going to be making a video on version 3.3. Since it is a week away, I'm going to be telling you everything that's going to be coming out in the next week, everything that we should be expecting. We're gonna get we have a Jade count, like an expected Jade count for 3.3, obviously subject to change, but hey, I doubt at this point it's a week till release. And then the new update radio, I heard there was new update radio. I haven't read it, but I know it exists. So there's that. So let's get right into it. The version 3.3 preview. I'll be going everything that was in the live stream and anything that were in the articles, because sometimes they keep those things in articles. So quickly, obviously, there's going to be a new Trailblaze mission chapter, The Fall at Dawn's Rise. Should continue right after everything that happened 3.2. I obviously won't say anything for spoiler reasons, but hey, there's all that. So we'll go straight into the new mats. We get a new weekly boss mat, Day Thunder. I'm not even gonna try. Anamnesis, I think, from Glance of Twilight. This is going to be from the new boss in the chapter. I'm forced to not get a screenshot of it. I wish I did, but yeah, that's gonna be that. That's gonna be the new weekly boss material. You need this for Cipher. Keep that in mind. For Hyacine, I believe it's just the Sunday boss material. So they said Echo. They said like the actual Echo of War name. Like I knew what that was. So, but I was grinding for the past Evolve 3.2, so I knew that. So, next we have a new character ascension material, Invasive Clot, which is for physical type character ascension materials, which is pretty interesting. I'm surprised they're doing this now. Usually like to wait. They usually like to do these like a patch, like the patch of instead of like the patch before. But yeah, this is for Finon. So if you're planning on going for Finon, you can grind this out early, which is good. And there's gonna be two new relic sets: Warrior Goddess of Sun and Thunder and Wave Shredder Captain. If you plan on going for Hyacine, you need to do this Warrior Goddess one because it's her best in slot. I think Wave Shredder is supposed to be Finon's best in the slot, but I can't tell you for fact because we don't know his full kit. At least not for version 1 anyway. We have version 0, but I don't think it's accurate enough. I usually don't like going off version 0s because those usually change wildly when version 1 comes around, but there's that. So let's go into phase 1 of the banner. Phase 1 will be Hyacine and the Herta with the 4 stars of Misha, Serval, and Natasha. And then you have Serval's light code. This is a Moe's light code, I believe. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that actually. It might not be a Moe's light code. I don't remember. And this is the Preservation 4-star light code. It's kind of mid, but it's there. That's the one they give you for free, I think, at the very beginning of the game. Yeah, same thing for here. Pretty interesting phase 1, I think. They're already bringing back the Herta, and then by proxy, if the Herta comes back, then you already know who's coming back as phase 2. Phase 2 will be Cipher and Aglaea with the 4 stars like Qingchue, Shui, and Shushang. And then we're gonna have this 4-star Remembrance light cone. Again, why here? I don't know why. The Sampo 4-star light cone, and then Shared Feelings, my least favorite light cone in the game. There's that. I mean, honestly, these banners are kind of mediocre, right? Like, Serval's okay-ish, Natasha's bad, Misha's not that great, Qingchue's really bad, Shui's bad, Shushang is kind of bad. Like, we need new 4 stars. We just need new 4 stars at this point. When was the last new 4-star? It's been a hot minute. So, there's that. That's enough for all that. Let's just go straight into events. Alright, so the first one was this Trace and Drift event. I gotta move this actually over here. This Trace and Drift event. It's kind of like Mario Kart-esque. It looked okay, but we'll have to wait and see how it actually plays. I also don't think there's anything on co-op for this game mode, which is like the one game mode that should have co-op. I can check the article though, because there's an article where we go over all events. I'll read it in detail, but I didn't see anything related to co-op. I could be wrong though. The second one, which is the main event, the one that gives you all like the jades and like the character selector or like code, is this Legend of the Galactic Baseballer Demon King. So if you remember way back a couple versions ago, I don't remember, it was back in the actual like Pinacani. I forget what version it was though. It's been a while. Almost a month, yeah, version 2.2, almost a month from now. They actually dropped this before, and the year now they're doing it. Yeah, version 2.2. Oh my god, that's so long ago. Yeah, they're doing it again. But I believe the only major differences is There's new stuff, right? There's new like power-ups. Power can combine further. I believe there's one power that can go even beyond the limit. I don't remember what it's called. I think like a myth. I call it like a mythic weapon. I don't remember exactly what it does, but there's that. And then you fight the last boss. The last boss is going to be the Flame Reaver or the Demon King. It looks pretty cool, but not like overly hyped over it. And then the Force Selector is this. Now, to be fair, Gallagher is still pretty solid, but I'll say that. What is this list? I'm going to be picking up Misha because he's the only one in this list that I don't have E6. But man, this is a list of all time. I'll tell you that for sure. And the last like quote unquote event, I don't really consider this an event, but they always do, is that Divergent Universe Protean Hero is getting an update. So there's going to be new day and night buffs. They're adding up like 4 to 6. They're adding Hyacines, Saradra, I think it's Finon, and a couple other characters as buff characters, or like as buffs. I should mention that. I should say that before I wildly something out of control. Yeah, so basically, like, you know how there's like already existing buffs for day and night, like Tribby, Caster Reese for night, Tribby for day, Aglaea for day, all that. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Kind of just like that. There's just more of those. I believe the reward should increase up to, I think it's currently level 6 right now. It should go up to level 80. And then there's that. And then you won't see the update till 3.5. That's just how it is. So there's that. That's all the events. Honestly, kind of right? Like, this is okay. This is whatever. And like, I don't really care for this too much. Like, you do this on your pastime. You don't, like, unless you're me and like just get it done day 1, this doesn't matter too much. So yeah. Obviously, Gifts of Odyssey, free multi. Can't never complain about that. Never can. We're getting Planar Fissure and Garden of Plenty. I honestly I don't know why they keep trying to show me this, because brother, I forget about this until like, because Garden of Plenty shows up on like the very last week, like the last week of the update, and I've forgotten it by like a weekend. So I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, it's good. This will be really good if you're farming for Finon. For Finon, this will be really good. Same with this. This will be solid for Finon, but like, instead of Planar Fissure, it should have been the relic one, the Cavern Relic, because we're getting a whole new Cavern Relic set, and you're probably farming it from both Hyacine and Finon. But no, Planar Fissure. When there's no new Planar Fissure set, I don't know. You know, obviously Garden Play, like I said. Alright, and then 3.3, I just want to show that these are going to be the Battle Pass avatars. Hyacine and Cipher seems to be like a nighttime or like pajama version. Pretty cute. I like them. I'm not paying for it, but cute. Alright, we'll now go over like just this article. I was just scrolling through just like to see like if there's anything like majorly interesting. I didn't see anything interesting, but we'll read a couple. We'll read a little bit of it. So here's this. So here's all of the big rewards you're getting from this. You're getting 1,000 jades from limit time rewards, a self-modeling resin. Oh yeah, I heard about a thing for self-modeling resin. We'll come back to that in a second. I wish what this is called, Tracker Destiny, right? Yes. And then the Force Selector, and as partial rewards, 420 jades, another Tracker Destiny, an avatar, and then some EXP books and some other stuff. I mean, it's nice. Can't complain too much. This one, yep, 500 jades, Tracker Destiny, EXP stuff. Yeah, nothing along the lines of co-op. So this is gonna be like a one-time thing, which is this is like the one thing that should have been like a co-op based thing. But okay. Gift of Odyssey, Planar Fissure, Garden of Plenty. You get the update here. You'll get 660 jades, another Tracker Destiny. You'll get some Relic remains, and then some Tears Dreams. Can't complain about that. And obviously more stuff. As I've written this, obviously you can get an update because the story's being updated. You'll get a Wishful Resin, Stellar Jades, and Relic remains, and some other stuff. And then Title Bounty will also be getting updated, so you'll get another pull. This light cone, which is going to be so useless to me because I've already S5'd it, but it's going to be nice, I guess. 100 Jades, and a self-modeling resin. And then obviously here's the Nameless Honor, and all the bat bundles, yada yada. You get the idea. You get the idea. Okay, so there's all that. I mean, it's nothing interesting in my opinion, but hey, it's there. Alright, now we'll move on into the update radio. I have actually not read this outside of like one thing, and I barely skimmed over it, so yeah. Alright. Update radio, the fall at dawn's rise. Welcome back to Alchema. After all that trailblazing, there's always time for a bath. Welcome, Trailblazer. The warm seems around you. Version 3.3 update radio. Version 3.3, the fall at dawn's rise will go live soon. In this episode update radio, we will introduce some optimizations and new features coming in version 3.3. Oh yeah, they probably mentioned it here. In the stream, they also mentioned that relic inventory will go up from 2,000 to 3,000. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, there it is right there. Relic inventory cap increase from 2,000 to 3,000. Red notification reminder optimization. They had to make it a point, like, it's big, okay. It just means removing red notifications, reduce red notifications for phone. Other optimizations, pre-installation optimization, early access to some gameplay and conventional memoir. Interesting. Early access to Echoes of War. That's good. And then some Wishful Resin adjusted preview. Okay, this. I hope to God, if it's anything, they just lower the amount from like 4 to 2 for substats. That's like the only big thing. But it's also Supply Resin, so I don't know what the hell this is. Alright, we'll just go on. Obvious enough, Relic inventory cap increase from 2,000 to 3,000. I personally have never needed any more than like 1,000. Maybe it's just me though. Maybe it's just me. Red notification reminder optimization. This gets a whole page. In version 3.3, the crew had optimized how red notification reminders are displayed and cleared, mainly in the following aspects. Some red notifications, including those for in-game notices, phone wallpaper, etc., will now be automatically cleared when Trailblazers view the notification and then switch to another tab or exit the current page. Okay, I get it. So yeah, take the in-game notice for example. Notice how notices now have a red notification labeled new. After Trailblazers enter the notice section and switch to notice tabs or exit notification, all red notification reminders labeled new on the current tab will be cleared automatically. You no longer need to click on each notice individually. Yeah, so one big thing was that if you had like a bunch of stuff for like notices, and like a bunch of stuff that you didn't want to read, you had to click through also, it wouldn't bother you about it. Now you don't have to do that, which is pretty cool. Okay. Fewer red notifications that need repeated clearing. When logging into the game using multiple devices, certain red notifications only need to be cleared once. These notifications won't appear again when accessing the game to other devices. Thank God. Try accessing it to a phone? Oh my God. Red notifications for certain features within the phone, including those for Game Tools version for Summer, will no longer be displayed on the phone portal. Trailblazers can check for red notifications within the relevant sections after entering phone to see if there are any new updates. Okay, so they won't bother you about it as much, I guess. In the following update radio news bites, we will report on other optimizations in version 3.3 and preview optimizations for future versions. I've always found this super weird, unless like a really good change, because like, oh, here's what happened in like 3.4. Is like, yeah, it's cool. You could have told me this in 3.4. Pre-installation optimization. With version 3.3 update, the crew has optimized the amount of storage space required for pre-installation of future versions. Additionally, a new resource pre-installation portal has been added to settings/language settings in the game on mobile devices. This portal will be displayed when pre-installation for future versions becomes available, allowing Trailblazers to access pre-installation directly after launching the game. That's cool, but why is it under language settings? Okay, sure. That's a strange play, but sure. Alright. Early access to gameplay and conventional memoir. With the version 3.3 update, certain gameplay features that have been added to conventional memoir can be experienced in advance through the finality vision function. That's it? Okay. Sure. The crew has adjusted the early access schedule for Echoes of War. New Echoes of War will now become available 21 days after a version update, instead of waiting until the following version update, as was previously required. Oh yeah. So basically, let's say for example, like this is a good example. Take for instance the new boss coming out, new weekly boss coming out. Before, if you want to do early access to it, you had to wait till 3.4. Now you only have to wait half the patch. Which is, I mean, it's nice, I guess. It helps. At least in this scenario, it helps a little bit because Cipher needs that matte material. The only problem is you won't be, unless you do the story, you won't be able to get all of it day one, like when she drops. So it kind of sucks, but hey, what can you do? All right, what is this? Self-modeling resin, Wishful Resin adjustments preview. To help Trailblazers synthesize their intended relics with greater ease, Wishful Resin will be merged into being self-modeling resin from version 3.5 onwards. Trailblazers only require the use of self-mined resin to set the main and subsidiary stats of relics. The quantity of resins consumed is not changed. At the same time, Trailblazers' existing Wishful Resin will now be converted to self-mined resin at a 1-to-1 ratio. Additionally, all sources that currently provide Wishful Resin will be changed to provide self-mined resin instead. For more details, please refer to upcoming official announcements. Okay. You can take this in two ways. I don't like this personally too much. Because, okay, Wishful Resin, at the biggest problem is, like, since now it's, since self-mined resin is for both, let's say I use 5. You have to use 5 self-mined resin for 1 relic for 2 subsets. That's insane. Instead of 1 self-mined resin and 4 Wishful Resin, right? My biggest problem was, why am I wasting 4 for 2 subsets? It should be like 2 for 2 subsets. Because remember, it's not guaranteed rolls or anything. Wow, that's I'm not the biggest fan of that. That's kind of a trash move on their end. I mean, it helps with, like, you don't need a second item to do it, but at the same time, so much stuff has just been incorporated Wishful Resin that, like, I've just gotten used to it, right? I've also been using it every now and again. But now I'm forced to use self-mined resin. Like, for example, like, let's say you want to make 2 relics with 2 substats. That's 10 self-mined resin. 10! So, basically, they're just saying, forget Wishful Resin. That is a thing of the past. It's useless to us. I don't know why, but, like, it's been a while. Like, when was the last time I saw that? Like, they introduced this back in, like, version 3, I think? I could be wrong. I would have to check. You know what? Let me go check real quick. Okay, yeah, I checked. It's version 3.0. So it hasn't even been 5 versions. It hasn't even been 5 versions, and they're already just making do without it. Again, the biggest problem with Wishful Resin, at least for me, at least this might be, I don't know how everyone else feels, but for me personally, you had to use so much Wishful Resin for a possible chance at what you want, right? Because you got the subsets you want, but there was no guarantee it rolled into what you wanted. For example, like, you could get crit rate, crit damage of substats, and then it immediately rolls into flat attack. Like, you had no say in that, right? That's why I was hoping, like, when I saw this, I was hoping they would just reduce how much Wishful Resin you needed for 2 substats, so like from like 4 to 2, so the burden was like not nearly as heavy. But no, instead they're just making do without it, and I'm just very confused. Why? Now, there's one bright side of this. Self-mined resin is a lot easier to get than Wishful Resin, right? Because self-mined resin is just everywhere. It's in like every patch will at least have one. Every single patch will have at least one in events, and there's one in battle pass. Like this, you'll get more. But the problem is, are you really gonna be wasting 5 for 1 relic with 2 subsets? Because, like, if you're using 2 for 1 relic, 1 substat, like sure, but like that's assuming you already have like that's only good if you're doing like a crit damage piece and you need crit rate, right? Or like the character only needs like speed and you just really need speed, right? Usually characters need 2 substats, so you do that, but the price is so expensive. I kind of wish this price would also change here. Instead of costing a whole 5, it should cost like 3 to do 2 substats, because it's not a guaranteed roll. But no, I guess we're doing this. Sure. That's it from this. That's it from this thing. We'll just check out the Jade count. This is everything that you should be expecting for the entire version 3.3 patch if you plan on just using this to save. So here's all the math done. If you are there every day, if you do all of the MOC Perfection Apocalypse Shadow max stars, all that, you get all the achievements, which honestly some of these you might forget about, so it's fine. Like the special program offers 4, I'll give 300 character showcases, all that. You'll get about 96 pulls through for the limited banner, and then 22 pulls for the standard banner. I mean, it's nice. Like, sure. I mean, it's obviously a little bit less than what you think it'd be, but honestly, what's new nowadays? So, I think that's it. Like, there's not much else to talk about. I don't really think so. Man, that change sucks. I really hate that change. Okay, this is just a personal thing. If you like this change, that's great, but I just don't see the good in this change outside the fact that there's just more self-mulling resin out there. But even then, like, it gets rid of the whole burden, right? It gets rid of the burden of having needing a second item to do a substat. But I don't know. I would just like to just lower the cost instead of combining it all. I don't know. I'll probably look online, see what other people think, but I'm not that excited over it. But that is it for this video. Let me know what you're most excited for versus 3.3, or maybe you're not and you're excited for 3.4, because 3.4 is going to be, oh my god, right? It's going to be such a, when leaks come out for that, I'm going to have a busy day. I'm going to have to do Finon, Saber, Archer, the 4 buff characters, and anything else that comes out. That, oh my god, it's gonna be so much. Oh man, I might have to separate that all into different videos. I genuinely might have to. I don't think I can do that all in one sitting. It's gonna be like the fucking Aglaea, Herta, and Remembrance Trilogy was like 40 minutes for me, so I might have to separate it all. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.